You've got a business idea that feels exciting, but will it actually succeed? Most ideas don't fail because they're bad. They fail because nobody cares enough to pay for them. So don't fall into the trap that destroys most first-time businesses, building a new product without testing it on the market first. I made that mistake too early on. So in this video, I'll walk you through a simple, proven 3-step method to test your idea with real users before you waste time and money building the wrong thing. Stick until the end because we'll be sharing 3 timeless business ideas with some free resources in case you're still looking for that winning business idea. But first, let's talk about why testing is important. Let's start with a question. Why do so many businesses fail even if their ideas sound good? It's because we don't start with answers, we start with guesses. When you're excited about your idea, it's easy to skip ahead and start building. But if you launch before testing, you're basically gambling. And the wrong guess means losing all your time, energy, and savings. You might think, isn't it better to just hit the ground running? But let's see how that plays out with 2 real-life examples. Take Juicero for example. They raised $120 million to build a sleek, high-tech juicer for pre-packed juice pouches. But people found it so much easier to squeeze the pouches by hand, so nobody wanted to pay $700 for a machine. The product flopped and Juicero shut down shortly after that. All that money and effort was wasted because they never stopped to ask, will people actually want this? And will they pay for it? Now let's contrast that with Rent the Runway. Before launching a website, the founders tested the idea with a simple pop-up shop at their school. They asked, would women rent designer clothes for special events instead of buying them? The answer was a resounding yes. So only with market validation did they start building the business. And today, Rent the Runway has millions of users and a thriving platform. So what's the moral of the story? Both Juicero and Rent the Runway had an interesting idea, but Rent the Runway tested the idea early with real users, Juicero didn't. And here's the truth. A real business is only viable if it meets real customer needs. And the best way to find out? Run a small market test. It took me a while to figure out how exactly to do this by learning from top entrepreneurs and testing the ideas in my own businesses. So here's a simple 3-step process, starting with step 1. Identify the riskiest assumption. Every business idea is built on assumptions. You might assume that people want your product, or that they use it in a certain way, or how much they'll pay for it. But which of those assumptions should you test? This video for my business Reading Graphics answers the question. Your job is to identify the riskiest, most critical assumption, the one that could sink your idea if it's wrong, and test that first. According to the Lean Startup, here are the 2 biggest assumptions that affect any business. The value hypothesis. Will people actually use this? Will they find it valuable? The growth hypothesis. If they like it, will they help spread the word? These are worth testing early because they can determine whether your business will even take off. Besides those 2 big assumptions that we've just seen, other critical assumptions might include problem importance. Is the problem painful enough for people to act? Willingness to pay. Will people pay for a solution? Usage frequency. Will they use it often enough to stick around? Start by asking yourself, what's the one thing that, if I'm wrong, will sink this entire idea? That is your first test point. We'll dive into some examples shortly, but for now, it's time for step 2. Build a minimum viable product or an MVP. What is an MVP? Let's find out. An MVP is the smallest version of your product or service that you can show to real users, just enough to get feedback and find out if your idea is worth building in full. It's about discovering what works, what doesn't, who your real customers are, and what they truly want. With an MVP, you're learning all that fast, with as little money and effort as possible. In the Lean Startup, Eric Ries explains that the true MVP helps you to test the biggest assumptions that can make or break your business. Before launching the Lexus line, Toyota built early concept cars and invited real drivers to test them. They got feedback on things like ride comfort, interior feel, and road noise, so they could prioritize the features that luxury customers actually cared about and avoid spending money on what didn't matter. Instead of guessing, use the build, measure, learn loop to start learning from real people in the real world. Build something simple, measure how people respond, then learn and improve from real feedback. As you can see, a good MVP should be designed specifically to test your most critical assumption from step 1. You also want to define a few key signals or metrics that help you to test whether your assumptions actually hold up. So once you have picked the riskiest assumption, build an MVP that's designed to test the exact point. Here are some examples. To test the value hypothesis, which is will people actually use this, you could launch a Wizard of Oz MVP where you simulate the experience or the product manually without actually building the technology behind it. For example, if you want to build a meal planning service, you don't need an app yet. Just have users fill out a short form and manually send their custom meal plans by email to test the demand. Or build a realistic demo video to see if people are interested enough to leave their contact. To test the growth hypothesis, which is will people spread the word for you, you could create a referral MVP where users get a benefit for referring other people. Then track the signups, sharing, or promotion code redemption to see how much the idea spreads. Want more examples of MVPs for your specific idea? Drop the word MVP in the comments below or leave a quick note about what you're building. We might just feature your idea in an upcoming video. With a well-aligned MVP and the test signals in place, you're ready to put it to the market and start learning from real feedback. Now, your MVP doesn't have to be perfect, just clear enough to test the demand for your offering. The goal is to gather real feedback quickly before you spend time or money building the wrong thing. And once you get valuable feedback, it's time for step 3. Evaluate and act to make smart decisions based on what users actually do. Once your MVP is out in the real world, it's time to observe, listen, and respond. This step is all about asking, did people find your product valuable? Did they engage, refer others, or come back for more? Or was there confusion, hesitation, or silence? All of this is feedback, and it tells you what to do next. So depending on what you learn, you have 3 paths. If people respond positively, great. Double down, refine, and start scaling. If there's some traction but not enough, then tweak and retest. Maybe it's the message, the pricing, or the delivery that needs some work. And if you've got 0 traction, don't panic. Use it as a sign to rethink the problem or test a different angle. This testing process is very effective, especially for business ideas that already have potential. But if you're still unsure about your business idea or you're looking for more inspirations, here's a bonus. There are 3 types of businesses that can give you money, freedom, and real growth. The ideas come from MJ DeMarco's book, The Millionaire Fast Lane, and it helped me a lot in the early parts of my entrepreneurial journey. First are internet-based businesses, like digital products, software tools, e-commerce, or content platforms, which are easy to upgrade and upscale to reach users around the world. Next, we have innovation businesses. These involve inventing a valuable product and building the right way to deliver it. Remember, innovation doesn't mean reinventing the wheel. You can repackage a boring solution in a fun way or improve an existing solution to make it stand out. But don't forget that distribution is just as important as the invention itself. Lastly, we have intentionally iterative businesses. This may not be flashy, but they are built to be repeated easily, like franchises, licensing models, or system-based services. The real power of such businesses lies in replication. Just build it once, then let it multiply. So what do all these businesses have in common? They meet 5 key criteria for building a business that can make you both rich and free. If you'd like to learn more about it, check out the full summary for the Millionaire Fast Lane in the Read Graphics library. I linked it in the description below. As you can see, a successful business doesn't have to start with the perfect product. It starts with a testable idea that solves a real problem, gets real feedback, and evolves from there. So remember the 3 steps to validate your business idea. Step 1. Find your riskiest assumption. Step 2. Build a simple MVP to test it. Step 3. Evaluate, adapt, and decide on the right path forward. With each test, you're not just validating your idea, but also gaining traction and improving your offer iteratively. If you're still not settled on a business idea, leave the word MVP in the comments for our MVP and business ideas guide. And don't forget to check the description for the free summaries of the Lean Startup, Millionaire Fast Lane, and more business tested resources to help you grow smarter, faster, and with less guesswork. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.